Well, he had time off last week. He was a very, very naughty boy, I presume. Well, just sick, but naughty sounds better.
Yeah.
From Las Vegas, the number one Democrat in Nevada is Kirk Clyatt.
No, I'm definitely not. I think you can say that. A lot of disagreements I have with both parties, but of course, mainly the Republicans. And, last week just highlighted to me the collateral damage that we have from COVID-19, because try to get medical care. Try to actually see a physician in the flesh unless you're near death. That's just not happening. It's telemedicine and then trying to get tests lined up. It is a nightmare to try to get medical care. So, of course, you've got the 320,000 people that have died from COVID. 320,000. What's the population of Brisbane, Mike? That's about like half of Brisbane. Right?
No. Brisbane's about 2 million now, I think.
Oh, really? In the city itself?
I have to ask you, but you couldn't get your medical organised. You couldn't. But did you get a pardon from Donald Trump?
Oh, my gosh. This is happening as we're recording this live from the OLA, the outdoor living area here in formerly fabulous Las Vegas. So I'm just checking it out here from the New York Times. One of the reasons I believe in multiple cell phones. And of course, this one is acting up as always. But, here's an interesting tabulation. It's from a professor at the Harvard Law School, a guy named Jack Goldsmith. So far, and I'm sure there'll be so many more, but so far, Trump has come up with 45 pardons or commutations, and 88% aided someone with a personal tie to the president or furthered his political aims. And let's take a look at some that were pardoned today. We have 3 congressmen that we'll get to. And one of the most egregious is this guy named Nicholas Slatton. He'd been sentenced to life in prison as a guard working for the company Blackwater, sentenced for his role in the killing of 17 Iraqi civilians in Baghdad, a massacre, according to the New York Times, that left one of the most lasting stains on the United States of the war. So he's got his get-out-of-jail-free card. George Papandreou, who worked on the Trump campaign, he served 12 days in jail. He got a pardon. 3 Republican, it's amazing, it always seems to be Republican, former members of Congress, Duncan Hunter of California, Chris Collins of New York, Steve Stockman of Texas. Hunter was set to begin his 11-month sentence coming up next month. Collins, he was in jail, still in jail, at least for another few days, serving a 26-month sentence for security fraud and a 10-year sentence to Stockman, the congressman from Texas, also fraud and money laundering. But those folks, courtesy of the president, out of jail. The question is, can we make it another 4 weeks, 4 more weeks with Donald Trump in the White House? It's going to be a long 4 weeks. I keep a countdown on my other phone, just counting down the seconds until this travesty, this disaster for America becomes hopefully a forgotten part of history. And, the president-elect, Joe Biden, spoke today, and just to hear the difference, said, I was robbed. You were cheated. I was robbed. You were cheated.
But look, just to hear him
over and over again, to hear someone that actually cares and wants to make things better for people. What a contrast.
Is it Joe Biden or Biden? And interesting that his wife is now a doctor. It's amazing what you can do when you have those magic powers of president-elect. And he will be president.
Think back in time. Nobody seemed to say anything about Dr. Martin Luther King. It's interesting they have a problem with Dr. Jill Biden.
Yeah, the Democrats, okay? You're getting ready for your big inauguration. That's where Joe... does he? Is it like a wedding? Does he stagger up the ex-president gives him away?
Well, that's the way.
What a great way! That'd be fantastic. Do you take this president to be your lawfully something?
I have no idea what's going to happen. Of course, we're already seeing the sycophants out there in Salem, Oregon this week. They were trying to bash their way, Salem, the capital of the state of Oregon, trying to bash their way into the Capitol. But, there are only 2 arrested. Where was the tear gas? Where were the smoke grenades from the police there? But it just goes to show the real risk here that we have in America. One of the good things is almost that it's winter, because it's a lot of times hard to get Bubba. off the sofa in the winter. It's too damn cold. I can't go out there and protest. I know it was stolen. I know this election was stolen, but damn it, I cannot get off the sofa.
Look,
It's
obviously,
cold out there. It's cold.
but look, the inauguration being serious, the Democrats are telling people to stay home.
Yes,
Obviously,
absolutely.
that's for COVID and I suppose to protect America's, what is it, 40, which number president is he?
He'll be 46, unless, of course, they institute the 25th Amendment and kick Trump out in the next couple of weeks. And apparently Mike Pence is now on the bad boy list. Well, this week is the end for Bill Barr, which leads me to believe that some of the pardons and some of the actions that Trump has got coming up, Bill Barr, the Attorney General, until the last day or two here in the United States, he'll be out, which leads me to believe that some of the things Trump is contemplating in his orange brain are some things that were even too far for Bill Barr to go. And Bill Barr, of course, no special counsel to investigate the election, no special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden, no signs of any serious irregularities. And you know what? Yes, there have been 2 cases so far, I believe it's 2, in Pennsylvania that have showed up of, just as the Republicans said, the dead voting in Pennsylvania. 2 cases so far. Both those people were people having their deceased parents vote for Donald Trump.
You know, I never studied to be a doctor. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy. What is it?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. That's the closest I've come to being a doctor. But I can tell, Kirk, that you're feeling fantastic. You haven't had your vaccine yet. What do you think about this vaccine? No. The delays and the politics and I see AOC. You know, she got the prick in the arm, and she's happy. But there is some unrest about the politicians or the nation's leaders. And that's to be expected too. But
those folks that were out there, like Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, oh, it's no problem. Oh, let me get this shot first. Joni Ernst, the senator from Iowa. Thankfully, my daughter, who is a physician, she was able to get her first shot. I have no idea when I'll get mine. Big controversy here in Nevada, whether the legislators should be able to go first in line so they can have their legislative session. I say, you know, here again, we have a Democrat-controlled legislature here in Nevada. I say BS to that crap. You guys can hold your damn legislative sessions on Zoom. The Nevada Supreme Court can issue a special dispensation so you don't have to meet in person. All medical personnel on the first lines, not the people that are doing telemedicine from home, but everybody who's working in a hospital. Of course, all the hospitalists, those are the physicians that tend to folks in hospitals, the intensive care physicians, all those folks should be done first. All the paramedics, all the first responders, then maybe we can look at politicians. And of course, you don't need it being over there in safe Australia. But as far as living here in the hot zone, unfortunately, I may be last in line. I'll just be hanging here.
No, you're that age. You're in that age group that you'll be up the front.
75, Mike, 75.
Well, you're not 75. Oh.
Yeah, well, we finally got, another relief bill coming out. And, fortunately, we live very low cost here in the what we call the LTA. So we've got the OLA, the outdoor living area, and I live in the LTV. The LTV is the lower Tropicana Valley. So it's probably the lowest cost place to live in Las Vegas, which if you handle things right, not quite as good as it used to be. Because honestly, the biggest change in my life in the pandemic has been my access to food. Because pre-pandemic, I'd say about 60% of my food came from casinos. And all of my liquor came from the casinos. Too bad they could give away marijuana. That would be great.
Dr. Reefer.
Marijuana. Yes, Dr. Reefer, he took care of me. But so that has been a huge change. But this is a very low-cost place to live, so 600 is a big help for us. But if you're paying $3,000 or $4,000 a month rent for your two-bedroom apartment in the New York City metro area, you got some serious problems going on. That money is not going to help you much. And even the extension is only going to take people to the edge of winter to get out into March. So there's a lot of work. And as President-elect Biden said today, it is really just a down payment on what needs to be done to get the country back on track. And it's been such an uneven pandemic because many people who could take their work to home, they had no income deficiencies. In fact, they did better because they were able to get these stimulus checks. And then so many other people, especially the hospitality workers, the entire hospitality industry here in Las Vegas just decimated. The Mirage Hotel, which of course really got the super hotels going back in 1989 here in Las Vegas, it's announced that it's suspending all midweek operations, TFN, really for the foreseeable future. So that is kind of a scary, disappointing thing that we've got going on here, because it's going to be a long haul before we get the mega conventions back. For instance, CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, it should be happening in just a couple of weeks, and it is this year all online. I don't know how exciting it's going to be to see all the new tech products online, but the CES folks are going to try. And if you've never been to CES convention, Mike, I just don't even know how to explain it. It's convention overload. It's really the most amazing trade show ever. And for now, it's still history. Maybe 2022. It'll be fascinating to see what they plan to do next year with it.
Okay, just two things quickly. Maybe in Nevada and maybe in Las Vegas, one way of distributing the vaccine and getting people back at the casinos, you're going to have that lucky slot that if you get 3 or 4 syringes, you get the vaccine. Maybe that could be the way. And it fixes both sides up. You got the tourism fixed up and the health issues.
And I almost think that is the way to go. I almost think to avoid just the rush, and of course there are going to be some people that say, hey, Bill Gates, he put a chip in that vaccine. He's going to be able to track me with my Windows 10 computer. So there are going to be people that say that, but for the majority of people that are still sane, I mean, it's maybe just a slight majority, but the majority of people that are still sane who want the vaccine, I think a lottery is actually a pretty good idea. You get the people who need it first, obviously, the folks working in hospitals, the first responders, and then once you get all the key people done for all of us that are left, you just simply log on, you enter your information, and it's a lottery, and you get called by your number. That might be the way to go, but with all the technical snafus and, of course, the Russians invading our computer systems, which, interestingly enough, today, Joe Biden at his briefing said that he's not getting nearly the information he needs about this hack from the Department of Defense. So you've got stonewalling going on. You've got as much salting the earth as you can from Donald Trump. He is really just making it as difficult as possible because this computer hack, I listened to the president of Microsoft last week, and he says this is something that's going to take billions of dollars and years. And right now, Donald Trump, of course, is like, hey, maybe it's China.
Now we'll get off Donald Trump. I did get a.
I don't want to be on it.
No, I got I received it.
I may be a gay man, but I do have limits.
But I got a text from one of your ducks, and they were saying, "Can I please talk to Uncle Kirk about Christmas?" Because they get a bit nervous.
No, they're going to be okay. They're there in case of a true emergency, but I would have to be starving because I am kind of a wimp. I can't go in there and break their long necks and
terrible. But you could do that. You could do that to some politicians, I believe. Kirk Clyatt, have a great Christmas. We'll talk to you next week. The last show for the year, and can you believe it? It's just gone like that.
It's been long and short at the same time, and I just want to make it clear, figuratively, not literally, for the politicians.
Yes, exactly right. Otherwise we could be sharing a cell together.
Evil wanted to say bye, Happy New Year.
Goodbye, Evil. What's Evil? What is Evil getting for Christmas?
Another day of life after eating my favorite pair of flip-flops today. It's a nice day here. It's 20 degrees here in Las Vegas. Had my flip-flops out. Now they're in the garbage. Thanks to Evil. She says, yay, I did it. I ate them.
That's what happens when you're a Democrat dog. You flip-flop. Great. Nice talking. See you next week. Thank you very much.
Bye.